Hi, I, Harmeet Thakur, will be today giving the presentation along with my group members Archit Sharma, Garima Gulia, and Smriti on the topic regional members and total values analysis. Introduction. The purpose of this presentation is to provide insights and analysis by analyzing the data on regional members and the respective total values. Explicit setting for the qualities is absent. Further, to explain data description, data provided, the data set members, data for regional members and their total values. Lack of specific context. The total values for each regional member shows in the data by either the specific meaning nor purpose are made clear. The fully comprehends their significance, further analysis and interpretation are required. Moreover, variation in total values has been explained. Among regional members, there is a significant variation in total values, pointing to various economic, social, or political factors to play. For example, Uzbekistan has the most evaluated complete worth of 67.1, while Brunei Darussalam has the least absolute worth of 7.9, exhibiting the scope of values. Grouping in total values. The total values of certain countries are comparable, pointing to shared characteristics or regional dynamics. With a total value of 45.2, the Caucasus and the Central Asian group stand out, while South Asia and Myanmar also have relatively high total values, 29.8 and 39.8 for each. Further, my colleague Garima will continue.
Thank you, Harmeet. Myself, Garima Gulia, 20173528 is my roll number, and I'll discuss about population size versus total values. It is important to note that while smaller nations like Tajikistan or Uzbekistan have higher total values, countries with large populations like India and China have relatively low total values. This pattern suggests that total values are influenced by things other than population size, like how resources are distributed or how well governance work. For a deeper comparison of this dynamic, additional research is required. And then I discuss about hypothesis test. T-test is also known as. The T-test is used to determine whether two groups of variables differ significantly. In light of the experimental outcome, if the p-estimate is beneath the importance level and the invalid speculation is dismissed and a huge contrast is closed. In any case, if the p-estimate is over the importance level, the invalid speculation isn't dismissed. Simple regression analysis. The relationship between a single independent variable and a single dependent variable is the focus of simple regression analysis. Key insight introduced: incorporate R squared. Difference made sense by the autonomous variable. Changed R squared representing the quantity of indicator and the standard blender. To comprehend the connection between the independent and dependent variables, coefficients are interpreted. Their importance is evaluated utilizing p-values. A statistically significant relationship between the variables is indicated by significant coefficient. And from there, I would like to invite Archit to continue the slides. Thank you.
Archit, start.
Thank you very much, Garima, for explaining this and give me opportunity to explain modal assumptions. And I am Archit Sharma, and my role and my student ID is 20173590. Right now, I'm going to explain modal assumption in simple linear regression. For simple linear regression, assumption include independence and linearity. Moreover, in case of the results that are seeked or unreliable may result from assumptions that are violation. Normally, instance may necessitate the use of non-linear model. Heterogeneity have an impact on the precision of coefficient estimate and influent outline may have a significant impact on the outcomes. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to explain model assumption in terms of multiple linear regression. Suppositions for different straight replace are like a basic direct replace, include linearity, freedom, ordinary, and non-appearance of present expansions. Violation of this assumption may have analogic to those of straightforward linear regression. Moreover, multicollinearity or a high correlation between independent variables can also make it difficult to interrupt individual predictor effects and produce coefficient estimates that are unstable or unreliable. Next slide, please. Now I'm just going to explain the model comparison that I already explained before. Right now I'm just giving the comparison between them. That the looking at the R squared and the squared R squared values between the year and the 12-month models give experience into the decency of fit. Moreover, the meaning of the coefficient and the standard blundering in the model decides the factual importance and unwavering quality of the connection between the indicator and the relevant variable. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to talk about the assumption checking linearity. In terms of linearity, while in the regression, the linearity assumption stimulates that the relationship between the independent and dependent variable is linear. Moreover, a scatter plot can be created to visually examine the distribution of data point in order to evaluate linearity. The assumption is probably true if the plot exhibit a distinct linear pattern. If not, alternative modeling strategies or nonlinear transformations may be required. Now, further onwards, I am giving it to the Simriti. Now she will explain the other slides. Thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you Ajit. My name is Smriti and my student ID is 20173628. Now I am explaining the assumption checking independence, in which independence assumption express that the perceptions in the information are autonomous of one another, meaning the vote of the reliant variable for one perception isn't affected by the vote of another perception. Issues of the independence assumption occur when clustering or repeated measures are involved. Bunching happens when perceptions inside a gathering or a group are more competitive, promoting possible relationship. Next slide, please. The next is assumption checking homoscedasticity. Homoscedasticity suspicions accept that the fluctuation of the residuals is consist across all levels of the indicators. Moreover, a plot of residuals versus anticipated values can outwardly evaluate homoscedasticity. The assumption is probably true is the plot depicts consistent separate of residuals as predicted value change. Next slide, please. The next slide is assumption checking normality. The normality assumption makes the assumption that the residuals have a normal distribution, which makes it possible to accurately test hypotheses and estimate confidence intervals. A histogram or topical likelihood plot of the residuals can evaluate the ordinary suspicious. The assumption is probably true if the Q-Q plot of the histogram both show the residual closely following a straight line. Next slide, please. In conclusion, we can say the examination uncovered huge variety in absolute qualities across regional members, featuring the variety in monitoring social or political variables. The values were similar across a number of country groups, pointing to shared characteristic or regional dynamics. The fact that values are not solely determined by population size suggests that the other factors like economic development or resource allocation have an impact. This is the end of our presentation with some references. I really thankful to my group members and especially thanks to my professor. Thank you, professor.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.